Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing combo again. I just played this recently, but this deck list came from the Pioneer Showcase Challenge. It actually took first, registering a list of 9-0 in terms of wins to losses. So it was definitely dominant. It was taking over the meta very, very aggressively. And there's another variation of it. It's a little bit smaller, but we like the Dino and the Elephant combo together, at least me personally. So I wanted to play this variation of it. Also, we got first, so clickbait kind of thing. But I want to bring up a thing. I had the game audio muted somehow, and the whole video has no game audio. But by the time I got back and realized that, everybody had found out about these deck lists being played, so it was only mirrors from there out, so I didn't want to upload those. So I kept the original video. It is me playing against a lot of different variations and different decks before people found out where this placed, before they went ahead and looked up the deck list. But yeah, it's going to be a little tough playing this right now because so many people are playing it. They think it's really, really good because it did take first. Everybody's like, combo, busted, broken. But we're going to go ahead and hop into the games. I hope you all enjoy. It is not the mirrors, so we'll be having a good time playing a different variety of decks this time around. So I hope you all do find it enjoyable. And let's just go ahead and get into the games. Think feels like the plan is to probably maul this hand. Definitely seems a lot more reasonable. I think we put that back. It's a little more expensive. We have like kind of the removal we need, and we have a land cycler here, so here it's blue white, maybe. Play Triumph. Yep, spirits. Gonna be a hard match, I think. Because they will be holding up interaction. Curious obsession, sure. We'd go for the removal immediately. I think the answer is yes. I think if we wait longer, the more likely they'll have their interaction. They have to have it right now. Which it's spirits, so they most likely will. Do you have it or? Okay, so it's not having it, I guess. Is what it is. We'll just play Triumph here, and then we'll cycle the herd migration to go get a land. Doesn't cast, so it's not really interactable with. Yep. Sure. Cycle the herd migration. Grab an island, because we want to have both these cosigns available here. We're going to do it on their turn, so they have to tap out. Because these are instant speeds. So we return target non-life permanent to its hand. And we just put the Spectre Sailor back. Most likely, being the deck that they are, they'll probably just attack. A shock. Sure. We're now in combat. Have you picked that back up? Should have double checked with the auto tapper to make sure it didn't do anything stupid. Do this now because Rattle Chains will give this hexproof. Spell Queller, they're tapped out. Now they lose. Sweet. That's what we wanted. What we needed. Unless I don't have the white or the red. I do. I have it all. I looked at this Triumph. I'm so used to just playing with like the Jetmir Gardens and stuff like that. So I'm so used to seeing the art and being like, yes, I have that, or no, I don't have that. And I look down, it's like, I don't know what mana these make. I got real scared. Yeah, so now we'll play this guy and we'll discover and we'll just do the combo. Cover Impersonator. Okay. They knew it was happening, so was struggling. Words off. Fine. It's actually like an okay matchup for us because we just get to kind of do the combo. They had to have the removal spell held up. We could do the Carnosaur part, which is like the better thing to do because it can then also hit a planeswalker. The only problem with that is one turn later. So we're obviously going to jam this first. Hope to win that way. Sure. Now we're not going to have a choice, probably. I would assume the walker is going away. They haven't seen the deck. They're probably not entirely sure what's happening. So for this turn, for our next trick, we don't have a second red, do we? No, we do not. Kind of funny. Buy the Karukster. Just give you boy. Slamming. Okay. They passed. They missed a land drop. Maybe that's where the frustration lied. Was Overgrown Tomb tapped, and then we'll play Mountain, we'll play Karukster, and then we'll lead into Connoisseur. Whatever you want to call it. And then at some point, we can even cast a Spark Double, copying Karuga if we wanted to draw cards with all these big boys in play. Okay. Liliana, that's fine. You like the plus. Or deals 2 damage to creature or walker. This hits a walker. Why? So funny to me. Playing out the turn. We just let the island go. I'm not letting either of these go because I'm trying to play around if I get thought seized here or not. Yeah. So we'll shock this in. Slam Karuga. They can obviously minus here, take out Karuga, but that's hitting our hand less, so we don't really care that much. Main thing we want from them is them to tap out. Have double red for this, so it doesn't really matter that much. Barring anything crazy like Liliana plus double thought seize or something like that, we have the combo. And then we want to activate the Planeswalker. Tap out. It's okay. Been missing lands, so it's a little tough. I just realized that they put a Parhelion in the graveyard. I don't feel bad for them at all. I'll just slam Greasefang. Also, apparently had a Grizzly salvage for a while, so kind of surprised to see you not do anything. But they tap out. Another thought seize, everything like that. We're perfectly fine. We'll jam Mountain. Or I guess we can just play Swamp and then conceal information in case something crazy happens, but nothing will or should. The boy. Discovering. Spark Double. Discovering. Spark Double. We have the walker we can hit, I swear. We're not gonna hit it in time. I'll know. Hey, there he is. Look at him. I don't even know if we have another I don't even know if we have another target. A crack. I don't, do we? I had one at least. At this point, do I have another Spark Double? I have one more Spark Double, so I'm going to copy this. No? Oh, did I get? Oh, it got thought seized? I had 4 Spark Doubles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I counted 4 as 3 because I'm smart. Yeah, so we ran out. It's fine. Everything's okay. But Triumphing Connoisseur will be fine. Realistically, with the con, we should have plussed. I didn't realize I used all 4 Spark Doubles. I thought it was 2. Well, I guess I only played 2 of these. I just played the deck not that long ago. So I'm kind of like on that version of the deck, we were on 4 Spark Doubles plus 2 different copiers, but we were playing 2 of them. So I was just so used to having more in the deck. But I guess we dropped it down to 6 because we're playing a lot more ramp and things like that. We go first. Sweet. Have a Spark Double in hand, which isn't necessarily what we want, but we do have early removal that can kind of lead into Carnosaur, and then a Spark Double might be relevant. But mainly I'm keeping on the backbone of all the lands that we have currently in play. We do have all mana types with the Rafine's Tower and the Stomping Ground. Tower. Belong. Oh no, we're playing the mirror. Well, I think we're playing the mirror. Should be the mirror. They play a smaller version though. Maybe. So, key thing here is keep up this Carnosaur for the entire game. They go to combo and they go to target. We remove it and then does nothing. So there's Magma Opus. Yep. It's not the mirror, but we are playing the deck that plays first. They're playing the one that plays second. Jam them. Hello, me from the future here. You should not wait until this trigger resolves because Eldritch Evolution will actually blow you out of the game because whenever that card is cast, you do not get a chance to respond because Eldritch Evolution sacrifices an additional to the cast. Therefore, they would have put it in a Connoisseur and then I would not have been able to do anything. So whenever this trigger goes on the stack, if you are playing it in Explorer, you want to remove it in response to the trigger going on the stack, and they have not exiled any cards yet. Yeah, so we wait till they cast, I think. Then we remove this, and we stop the combo immediately. Okay. You can play the mirror, it's fine. I'm down to scrap. Now we just play the island, because now we have Leyline Binding plus another cycle here. Main thing we want to do is prevent them from doing anything. The best part about playing in this matchup specifically is knowing that neither of us are playing counter spells because we're both degenerates. So it's fine. We can buy Karuga, I guess. They missed a land drop. Creature Planeswalker. I'm just gonna hold up both still. I think. We're going to see a Magma Opus cycle or the other Magma Opus cycle. The Treasure Maker, pretty much. This is why I'm holding up the interaction. They play another one. So, round number 2. Hit another glass pool. They'll put it on the stack. We are going to Leyline Binding the Appraiser, and the reason we're Leyline Binding is we find an untapped red source, we get the Carnosaur, and then we win. So, alright, well, yeah, it's definitely keepable, I think. We have no red, but we can get that here, and we're first, so we can lead off with the Triumph. We like to lead off with Rafine here. This is like not having enough experience with the mana base to know which one we should lead off on. I know we take a turn off here, but I'm not going to let Mono Green run rampant, or Elves potentially, so we just get rid of that problem immediately. We'll play a tap land, and then we'll cycle next turn if we have to. See, now we kind of prevented the old growth troll from coming in, potentially. Although, or it's just aggro. Okay, sweet. Does this come in tapped or untapped? Doesn't really matter, I guess. This is a sorcery, though. So let's get these fired off first. Need to go grab a red source. Play. It does come in untapped. I think that's a trade-off between being sorcery and then this guy. We rip a land naturally, we win. So that's cool. We not. We draw a... We didn't really want to draw. Just wait. Maybe they'll be a little bit more hesitant to just fire something off. We're holding back. I mean, from their hand. I assume they're going to attack us. Here. We have red. We have white. Cycle this. We could get a land. And a nice part of the going to do nothing deck. So I'll just grab another white. For like a Leyline Binding or something. Potentially. Potentially. Fire this off. We do have the Spark Double in our hand, but we don't need many copies of this to get it to work. Really need this first one to hit a spark double to go well, and when it does, they're pretty much guaranteed dead, unless they have target, but I think they do, and this doesn't target anybody. I think they just lose it, right? Yeah, it's each opponent, so there's no target. We hit another spark double, which is incredible. Now we're going to peel and deal for 4. And we'll copy another one. Now this is going to be for 6. Okay. And we have one more clever impersonator in the deck, which will be enough for lethal. The way we hit it. Final wheel. Should have 1 down to 17. It's all these trigger. Before it even resolves, our opponent will be dead. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Big green stompy boy did not keep up. Alright, our opponent goes first. We're sitting with a pretty nice hand. All things considering here. We don't have a white, but we definitely have a way to get the white mana, which is what I like about this deck the most so far. Always being able to kind of confirm that we get our colored mana. Artifacts. One more counter on a permanent control. You may pay 1 if you do make salvo. Whatever it's called. Let's get our white mana in now. We have blue and red here for the Indoctrion. So if we do draw a binding, we have a pretty neat nice answer. Don't have a way to really remove that effectively. I think the main problem we're going to run into in this match is I don't know if we'll have enough time. Him going first here. Ozolith, the counter will come on first. They can make a 1/1, so at least it's a little bit slower. Oh boy, what to do here? Do find the walker, so actually it gives us the time we need. We have the white and the red, so survive this turn, we win. Is a crazy thing to really say out loud, but I'm just gonna double down and I'm gonna just grab another red source here. Mainly we need to stay above 2 as well. I can't see a world in which at 3 damage currently in play, even with a token doubler, without something crazy happening. And it looks like they might just be activating Ozolith, which is even better for us. They're gonna pay 1 of that. This is not enough damage. Now we're going to wombo combo them. Deal 1-2 punch. Discover. Spark double immediately. That means we're pretty much set up to win. We have no copies in our hand, so we know we have 6 available plays. Opponent says nice. Sorry, opponent. Somebody had to get it done to him. There wasn't a thanks option, but the reason there's not a thanks option is because thanks is toxic in a lot of scenarios. Alright, do this. Final interaction. All we need, 3 cards come in. We cast this, 4 triggers go on the stack, and our opponent will effectively be removed from the game. Very nice. And the artifact aggro deck was not quick enough. Although I don't know if the module is this card. I don't think this card kind of will ever be quick enough for Pioneer. It's a little bit tough to kind of sell me on. As you can kind of see, like they just put an extra mana into here, but if they had like another thing that had counters or like Ginger Brutes or other artifacts like that, maybe it would have worked a little bit better. Obviously, we didn't see too much of their deck, so it's kind of hard to judge in that aspect. But move on. All right. Jump. Oh. Yeah, we'll keep here. So we're a little short on the red department, but we do have Leyline Binding for 2 mana plus a cycle on the Herd Migration. Go find whatever mana we need here. Darkslick Shores looks like it's going to be a control fest, but that is fine. Dagoth Triumph, get down. Down. Undercover. Or it's Rogues, and that's not good. The only games. Is this Dredge? Oh, please be Dredge. Be my hero. You have blind obedience sleeves, so that's a little questionable. But bang. Well, we hold up leyline binding. Thought sees me, I swear. Not doing anything bad, I promise. Yep. Another cycle of the otherworldly gaze here. He shielded, weirdly enough. We actually don't care about it all. And I know I said it's Greasefang. As you see a Parhelion go in the graveyard, I never mind. My webcam covers it up. Parhelion here. This is the legendary variation of the deck where they play like Mox, Ambers, and stuff like that to play aggressively. I mean, no Greasefang here. I'm just going to herd migration. Be slow. Be the slow boy. Grab a swamp. We have every basic in our hand, apparently. We have a couple of options. We can now leyline binding. We can now cosign the thing. Would like to hold up both. Can I do that? We just need a red. Correct. So we now play red. We have leyline binding and the cosign. So we'll take it. I really have to sneeze, but we're going to hold it until I explode. Look at top 4 cards of library. Put one in your hand, the rest in the graveyard. That's pretty sweet. Maybe a little slow in terms of what Greasefang's trying to do, but I understand wanting to play a make disappear type effect that works well with your deck, because it does here. Now, sure, man. That's why we hold up both. What are you going to Thoughtseize away? If I move them really fast, you can't touch them. See? So much harder. Held the line. Alpha. They do nothing here. I am going to cycle to try to find our way to another spell. I probably should have took maybe a little more consideration into what I was cycling away, but that's fine. So we can cycle this, get another planes, and then we have leyline binding, but if they Thoughtseize us, we get trounced. So we just pass. Although they Thoughtseize us, they play Greasefang, but they take our leyline binding. Don't we just win? I guess so. Could just counter this though. 9 cards in the graveyard. Play this counter spell, which is at 3 mana. Then everything goes. Yeah, we don't need to play into a counter spell. Faithful Mending, sure. Get more life. We would really want this to hit the Walker, because that's the thing that we kind of want to combo into. Otherworldly Gaze, no upkeep stop for it. Maybe they found the Greasefang finally. Doesn't seem that way. Sure. Yeah, so we'll play Forest that they know about. Green these. Cycle here. I did not leave up a white. Oh boy. I just instinctually tap my white. I only have 1 white source. Oh no. Pilot error. Pilot error. Get him. Fine. Hopefully. Even if they do the combo, if they're not holding up a counter spell or combo, if they do the tempo play and they're not holding up a counter spell, like, I still get to jam this guy. I said they were playing the legendary variation, but it doesn't seem that way. I think they're just playing shielded in addition. Normally what they're playing is they're playing like Rona, they're playing Emery, they're playing Skrelv, they're playing Mox Amber to play it all early, and they're just like using Rona to put in the Parhelion from their hand into the graveyard instead, and then playing a Greasefang that they've drawn, constantly activating the Rona along the way. We'll see. They have Counterspell now, which weirdly not holding up Leyline Bind is really cool. I'd like you to pick that back up. Get back. Put it back. Spell Pierce. What? Ah, this person's been hurt before. They're not having a good time. Alright, well, we're gonna get bonked here, which is like unfortunate because I didn't leave up a white mana. As you can see, we have one floating mana available. But I did think I had a plains in the deck. I'm just stupid. So, you know, cut me some slack. Or don't. I don't really care. We want to leave our white mana available. This is not spell pierceable. Oh. Spark double. Sure. This boy up. Oh, let's go. We did hit the walker. They could spell pierce that, I guess, technically. But they didn't. Or the spark double. Yeah. Oh, let's go. It's combo time. Both get to play shenanigan games. Cover 4 more. You hit the clever impersonator right on time. Because if you don't know what the difference is between clever impersonator and the spark double takes the legendary rule away. As you can see right here on the bottom, it's no longer legendary. So we're able to make copies of a legendary planeswalker. Or like a legendary creature, technically. Doesn't really matter. But if you have the clever impersonator, this one, it does not take that rule away. So if clever impersonator comes in and copies the original walker that we have, canned beans, I don't know what his name is. If it copies the original, the legendary rule will apply. However, if you use spark double first and then you have the clever impersonator copy the spark double, it'll actually copy the fact that it no longer has legendary because it's copying spark double, not the planeswalker itself. So then it also enters and copies. So yeah, it works out well. Okay, everyone, I am going to talk about the deck a little bit. I talked about it previously and how good it could end up being, but I didn't expect it to do as well as it did in the challenge. If you don't know why I came back to playing the deck today, let me explain. So this is more or less what the curve looks like. Well, this one's a little bit weird. The Carnosaur kind of fits in a weird combo key spot, but also can be cycled for 3 to deal damage, which actually won us the game earlier. So a little bit awkward. We'll get to see here. However, let's talk about the deck a little bit. What I ended up playing was a little more all in on the con combo. We didn't really have this. We had a slight variation of it that could combo, but we didn't really want to do that. We were really focused on playing this guy. However, the main reasons this deck is even possible and actually good, especially when you're face down with aggro, is the fact that we have so much ramp. We have this guy that channels for 3, which means you could do it on your opponent's turn, go get a basic, put it into play, not untapped, but tapped, and you're ramping. So now if we do this on turn 3, you get to hit this on the turn 4 that we need to. But along that path, on turn 1 or 2, we get to have the binding, we get to have the virtue, we get to have the cosign. And then having the backside of this is also important at times, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me kind of break it down card by card and what our plan is. So our early game, play a Triumph, which is any of these multicolored lands, and then maybe play a basic or a shock land or another Triumph that turns Leyline Binding on for 1. We'll get all of our colors immediately if possible, have this active on 1. If not, we want to have a blue one down first, preferably a blue-white one, so we can have this active and this active along with a virtue. So Esper is the best land to lead off with because you get the blue, you get the black, and then you get the white, and then you can potentially turn this on after by just playing a Stomping Ground. So realistically, you want to play Rafine Tower in the Stomping Ground, and then all of your early game removal is online along with cycling a Herd Migration. That's really important. Other than that, we kind of develop into the mid game, our mid game. It's not really a mid game, it's like a super early combo deck. But basically what we want to do is ensure that we hit our land drops and get to our big stuff when we need it. That relies on Herd Migration that can gain us a little bit of life and also be an in-game threat that actually can win in terms of making 5/3/3s. Very hard in Pioneer to remove without using a board wipe because if they're fatal pushing these, you're winning the game. plain and simple, or you're so far behind you should have conceded forever ago. But you do this, you get lands, you play lands, you gain a little life, but this kind of fits more into the category of doing this stuff. What we really want to do with herd migration instead is play one of these guys. We do Beanstalk, go get that basic, and if it's on turn 3, and we know that this will resolve if you're playing against like mono red, for example, you play this, and then if you haven't got the plains, which I made a mistake in the game thinking I played 2 of, you go grab that plains, and now you have that leyline binding for 1 mana, and you ramped, and you're ready to play this on curve next turn. So you protect yourself, and then you can play the walker. After that, if you don't, you can just cycle this on your opponent's instep while also holding this up and another binding. Please go back. So you can cycle this on your opponent's instep if they don't do anything, and then you can kind of do everything in response. And now we have kind of the combo. So let me pull this over here. Let's talk about it a little bit. The main one that you want to hit first, if you're doing it with the Planeswalker early, is you want to hit Spark Double. Obviously, we don't really have a whole lot of control over this. It's kind of random. There's a reason we play 4 of these and 2 of these. You have to have 4 Spark Doubles for this. You can pretty much play a couple of different variations of this 4-drop one that copies. I think there's like one other one. You just have them. But you have to have 4 Spark Doubles, and that is because of the bottom text of its ability where it says it isn't legendary. That takes away that clause. So this can copy our Planeswalker, and our Planeswalker will lose. It'll just be a Planeswalker Quintorius. That's all it'll be. So therefore, whenever we hit a Clever Impersonator, say the next time, so our order went, play this, get a Spark Double, copy this, reactivate the copy, hitting a Clever Impersonator, we'll have the Clever Impersonator copy the Spark Double. The reason we have it copy the Spark Double is because, again, that legendary text is gone. That means we'll now have 3 of these. So what happens if we hit it in reverse? Well, if we hit it in reverse and we have a Carnosaur, we could technically have this hit this instead, but let's just keep on the Planeswalker plan right now. If we have this hit first, we have to copy this, and the legendary rule will apply. We just have to keep the copy. More of the story. And then if we hit a Spark Double, we have it hit the Clever Impersonator, it'll still lose that legendary text, and then we go from there. But what I brought up there is, say we're doing it with the Carnosaur package. We hit play Carnosaur, which is our removal spell, so sometimes we won't have it in the spot because it can be redeemed down in here in this 3 mana slot. But we play this, it hits Spark Double, we copy it, and then it hits Clever Impersonator, copy it. But let's say we play this and it hits the Planeswalker. We can minus the Planeswalker, right? And say it hits the Clever Impersonator. Well, we don't really want it to hit this Planeswalker, potentially, depending on the board state, because we have to sack the legendary rule. Well, you can instead use Clever Impersonator to copy the Carnosaur, and then if you hit Spark Double, then have it copy the Planeswalker and go from there. Or this could hit another copy of the Planeswalker, so we're up another Carnosaur, and then we also replace that Planeswalker, so we have more power in play along with the Planeswalker. And then we have the Spark Double eventually. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to call it there. The companion's there for looks because it fits in the deck. So we just play it as like a super backup plan. But I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to call it. I have a lot of fun playing this deck. I think it's really enjoyable. It's kind of sparked my interest in playing in the Pioneer format. I know it's a little bit wheelie, kind of like Greasefang to an extent. But it is answerable. If you play a counterspell, we can't really deal with it that much. You just kind of have to kill us quickly after, or just hold up counterspells the entire time. I did lose one match, and it was just because they were just counterspells. They just constantly, every time I put a spell in a stack that was important, they picked it off. They were just like, counter it, and I'm going to kill you in the process. And so I died, and then you saw the other variation of the deck that's a little bit smaller. We just removed their creature, and they lost the game because they didn't have anything to copy. They went all in. They had 2 cards left. We had 5, and they were just like, okay, yeah, you got it. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. I had a good time playing this deck, and I'll probably be playing it some more in the future. So I'll catch y'all later. Get out of here. Goodbye.